India was under the pump heading to Australia. The critics had the swords already, much like the words that Indian skipper Rohit Sharma had used during that series against New Zealand, and the media were ready with their knives out when India faltered against New Zealand. And so the Indian contingent were travelling to Australia to face the sternest of tests with a whitewash hanging over their heads. Rohit Sharma was going to miss the first test and Shubman Gill got injured. Virat Kohli's form was being questioned and the bowling attack did not have their most experienced Mohammad Shami. It was with all of these setbacks that India made its way to tackle the Aussies, the most hostile series for any visiting side. But 3 days were all it took and a little bit of day 4 for India to come out in the most commanding manner and defeat the hosts by a whopping margin. Australia in the first test staring at a 1-0 deficit. And it happened at Perth, a very daunting venue at that. The prime reason for India's resurgence has been their stand-in captain Jasprit Bumrah. He's led from the front, and what a phenomenal performance to really be the player of the match as well. That Aussie first innings was in fact the turning point. It's easy to be deflated after a paltry 150 batting first. The battle would seem almost lost right there, but Bumrah came out charging. His skill, his sheer pace and genuine guile, genuine deception struck Australia hard. It's also right to say here that Australia, for their part, put in their worst performance with the bat in this test. That batting lineup has enough gaping holes that needs some tending to. But coming back to Bumrah, in the absence of another senior pace bowler alongside him, Bumrah led the attack admirably and really has been the backbone of this Indian bowling lineup. In fact, since his comeback from a career-threatening injury that was set to derail him, Bumrah has been unstoppable across formats. Here's a bowler who's undoubtedly going to be the best that the world has seen, if not already, across 3 formats. Conditions do not matter. Opponents do not matter. Situation is inconsequential. He has been clinical, whether it's T20, ODI or Tests. He was instrumental in India's ODI and T20 World Cup campaigns from last year and then this one. There's a reason Mumbai franchise at the IPL retained him as their number 1 pick ahead of Rohit Sharma, ahead of Hardik Pandya or Surya Kumar Yadav. Bumrah is a match winner and today he achieved a special milestone. Captain leading his team to a famous rare win at Perth.
Played here in 2018, I remember that when you start here, the wicket is a little soft and then it gets quicker and quicker. Was relying on that experience. We were really well prepared, so I was telling everyone to have faith in their process and ability.
If one reason was the experienced Bumrah, the other has to be the fiery resistance of the newcomers and the youngsters, cricketers for whom Australia would have been a very, very daunting expedition. Yashasvi Jaiswal. This is India's next superstar without a doubt. 100 in Perth is mammoth. Jaiswal needed to resurrect the Indian batting after that appalling show on day 1 and he led the way. Only the 3rd Indian to score 100 in their first test in Australia, and I will have to add names like Nitish Reddy and Harshit Rana as well. Nitish Reddy's contributions with the bat was key. Rana took that wicket of Travis Head in the first innings, and of course Dhruv Jurel. He had a bit of a lovely, stunning catch from close quarters as well towards the end of that second innings earlier today, highlighting the guts that this Indian side truly has displayed.
Jaiswal has had a great start to his test career. This was his best test innings probably. He left the ball, he has an attacking nature, but he left the ball well and played long.
Virat Kohli finally silenced critics with that 100. Would have been absolutely relieved to get that monkey off his back. No hundreds in a while especially, and this was some time coming. And it's always good to see someone like Virat really getting into his zone, especially when it is against Australia in Australia. He's done that in the past. For Australia, there has to be a lot of self-reflection. That's the time right now. That's the mode they have to go back to. They have to head back to the dressing room to really think about where they went truly wrong. Do they have the right personnel in the right roles? Is their top order brittle, as we've seen in this test? Were the bowlers a little too careless and relaxed in their approach? Because there were quite a few leg byes, a few slip chances. Now, it's soon going to be time for Adelaide. It's a pink ball test, day and night game. That's a whole different challenge completely. And there's more trouble heading Australia's way if this was not enough. Mohammad Shami will be looking to make it back into the 11. So too Rohit Sharma, who's landed in Perth. And of course, Bumrah, as always, is ready to make way for Rohit and assist him when the time comes.
He is the captain of our side. He has done a phenomenal job. I was filling in for him. I had a discussion with him when he was in India. We kept discussing how we are shaping up. I am not going to tell him that I am going to lead, but yeah, I am going to help him in whatever capacity I can.
The leadership, the mentorship core of this particular Indian squad is really in safe hands. Rohit, in fact, was seen in the nets as soon as he reached Perth, batting and padding up to the pink ball. He was facing deliveries by bowlers using the pin ball, the net bowlers, in fact. And of course, there's also news of Shubman Gill probably fit enough to come back if his thumb is healed. So much to look forward to in this series. It isn't the final frontier for nothing. And expect a fighting response from the Aussies when we head to Adelaide.